Well, we're also tracking some breaking news in Afghanistan. Sources saying the Taliban have taken the northern city of Mazar-e-Sharif. Now, it is the country's fourth largest and also a vital commercial hub. The Taliban now control the entire north of Afghanistan, as well as large swaths of the south and the west. The military offensive began in May, but ramped up significantly this past week. Insurgents seizing Kandahar on Thursday and taking control of the city just 80 kilometers from Kabul yesterday. The capital is now effectively surrounded, and some reports say militants are within 20 kilometers of the city. Well, for more, let's reach out right now to the CBC's Susan Ormiston. She's following all the latest developments in Toronto for us today. So, Susan, just how significant is this latest Taliban victory in Mazar-e-Sharif?
It's hugely significant. I mean, it signals, as you said, that the Taliban has secured the north, taken 3 of the 4 largest cities in Afghanistan, and perhaps setting their sights now on the isolation of the capital, Kabul. Now, while Kandahar, of course, may be more familiar to Canadians because we had combat troops based there for so long, it was traditionally a Taliban stronghold. Mazar has been a Taliban really, against the Taliban for years and years, bolstered by northern support and warlords whose own militias were defeated today. And President Ghani had just raced up to Mazar-Sharif only 2 or 3 days ago to bolster morale, to tell the troops to keep fighting because he knew how significant this city would be. And some reports saying today that those same government fighters were crowding onto a bridge on the border of Uzbekistan, where Afghanistan and Uzbekistan have their borders. So it's a huge loss for the Kabul-based government, which now controls just 2 of the remaining cities, Kabul and Jalalabad in the east, as well as a bit of territory in the center. So what's happening? Well, many believe now that the Taliban will push towards the capital, strategically trying to isolate it. It's already taken the capital of Logar province in the south today, 70 kilometers from Kabul, and this all ratchets up pressure to find a bloodless way out for the Western-backed Ghani government.
Now, you mentioned the Afghan president, and he did speak earlier for the first time in days. What did you hear from him?
Yes, it was a pre-recorded message, which may be significant. Ghani denied, he didn't say it, but there were many rumors that he might resign today. That didn't happen. He said his priority is to strengthen defenses, to try to tamp down the insecurity in the country, but there was no indication of how he was going to do that. He did say he'd been in talks with international allies, NGOs, political leaders about the next step, and he promised some results on that soon. It's nighttime now, late at night in Kabul, and this news from Mazar-Sharif must be really rocking the government. And a lot of people are wondering whether there will be a resignation by Ghani sometime soon, whether there will be talks to get a transitional government in place. And meanwhile, U.S. troops, British and Canadian troops are in the capital or getting there, trying to safely evacuate many of the embassy staff for the U.S. Some reports out of the U.S. saying that many of those staff are already at Kabul's airport waiting to get out. Washington Post is reporting that the U.S. has asked the Taliban not to enter Kabul until that evacuation is complete to avoid confrontation. So we are at another significant critical turning point in this war. It's just happened with breakneck speed, as you have reported, significant turn again. We'll see what the government, if they say anything about this tomorrow, within hours, really.
Susan, thank you for the recent update. I appreciate that. The CBC's Susan Ormiston in Toronto.